everybody, this is RDW Glass, and today I'm here to bring you a brand new video, just like we do every single Tuesday. Make sure you like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and you will get notified when I do post new videos. Alright, so today the video is going to be called Poker Presents. Alright, and we're going to make pokers become present. Alright, so what we're doing is we have all these punties, you know that from the last video, are things we basically use as handles. Once they get, shorter, and they become, to where if I was using that as a handle, I might burn myself. That's when we go ahead and I put them in this big jar. A little mushroom sticker on there. Need a mascara. Now that they're in this jar, basically they're put to the side for me to create a creation out of those. And that creation is the poker. And, the poker is amazing. What I do is, it's basically a poke and, stir. So you poke, you can stir your bowl, and then the other side of it, which is usually this side, you can press down. So what we'll end up having is a pointy side and a non-pointy side. Here's a very long extended one. So imagine you would stir your bowl, back it down. So that's what we're going to be making today. Put that back up there. You see this tube thing around me? So this is called a blow hose or a blow tube. On this one side you have a mouthpiece. The other side you have this like rubber grommet situation where, let's say you have a tube, you just kind of like work that around it. And now you can blow into the tube. And that works for the tools too. We have our joint tools, and this is what holds the 14 and 18 millimeter joints. Obviously they're different tools. So this one goes in here, and then we put the blow hose on that. That way we can work and create the slider. I'm not sure if this is the first video I have this bandana on. This bandana is really cool. It's got like glass tools. It's got a torch there. Pretty cool bandana. Got this as a while back. Pretty cool. Alright, that's comfortable enough. Always gotta have the safety glasses. Alright, so I'm going to just grab from this jar we have here, and we're going to go at it. So the reason I'm pointing the camera a little lower is because we may do some work on the graphite thing here. Keep it all up. Cool. Alright. Alright, so remember the propane turns on first, so what we do is you take the red notch, take your lighter, got one out, alright. Use the lighter that works better here. Propane on, then oxygen. When my band's ready. What we'll do is we'll take a brand new one, and we will take one end, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of stretch it out to where it could be like a poke utensil. I'm going to go right towards the, just where I think the length of this would be good. And once we have it in the flame, what we're doing is we're just rotating our hand. You can see my hand rotating. I do this. As you see, there's a section that's going to slowly get red. You remember on our last video, the mushroom video, where we made a mushroom out of glass. That one, we let the glass get super hot. You can see it. I'm going to just slowly pull. And you can see the glass slowly get thinner. Right? nice and slowly get thick. And what I'm going to do is do the flame cut. Flame cutting is also something we went over. But what you do is you put the piece of glass in the flame, let it get thin, and you twist. Alright? Now what we have is something that looks like this. Alright? So it goes off like that, like a little knob. So what I'm going to do is stick it back in the flame, grab this piece, and just take that glass and pull it down. I like that better. That's a better poke and stir situation. And now what we do is we're just going to sit that down and let it cool. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take another thing, grab that, and now I'm going to show you the other way that I start them, which is by taking an end and flattening it. So you get that end hot. This is our graphite tool, the marble mold, but what we do is we take the top of it and we can push down. See that? Now we're left with a flatter, push down, press down, pokey side. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of these pieces that I already have the push side down on, and I'm going to show you how I make one of my bent nail. That's what I call them. I call them my bent nail pokers. So I'll show you how I make one of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it about here where I'm comfortable, and just past where I'm comfortable holding is where I'm going to do my first bend. So we put it in the flame, and remember to rotate. And this, you do not want it to get glowing. You just want it to get hot enough to where it moves around. And I just took it and I bent it. You can bend it as much as you want. Like that. And once it gets cold, you have to stop bending it, or else the glass will get stressed and that can cause cracking. And I'm just going to touch this in the flame after we bent it, just to make sure that any stress that might have been there, hopefully that stress goes away. You don't want your glass to be stressed just like you don't want to be stressed. Now, it's a little tricky because you can't rotate it or else your handle area will get in the flame, So what we do is we just touch it on one side, and then I flip, and I touch it on this side. And then I touch it on that side, and look, it's already falling down itself. Put it in the flame, and in the flame. Bend it again. And I like my bent nails to look. And then we're going to hit it. What I do is I go right where this ends, like, line these up. From that, we can rotate it in there. Back and forward. And boom, and I'll straighten it out. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like we did on this first little piece, where we just pull and stretch it out, where it becomes more of like a pokey. And I'm going to burn it off right about there. Something with glass blowing is you will probably burn your fingers or yourself somewhere, your arm or hand. So, just don't be scared of it. That's part of this process. And right here, what we have is one of my bent nail pokers. And I can see like somebody hitting a nail and it's just bending. They keep hitting it, kept bending. Now, we have a poker for glass. I'm just going to set that down. Usually we put stuff in the kiln after we're done working with it, but these pokers are so small that what I do is I just sit them down on the graphite pad right in front of me. And now that they're sitting here, they're sitting right above where we're working, so they're, staying at hot temperature right there. So they're retaining their heat. Now I think this piece that we made earlier is actually cold enough for us to get into it. So let's say we have just our poker end, right? What we'll do is I'll do a similar thing. I'll go to we're going to do a straight poker on this one instead of our bent nail. And what I'm going to do first is create a Maria. So what we did here at the end of these, that's, you know, we're flattening it. But when you do that in the middle of a rod, you press the two ends together, and that creates what we call a Maria. So I'm going to do that, you know, a little far up on here, because that's where I like putting my little Marias. Just get that section hot by rotating. And then, I'm just going to slowly press them together. And now you see what's occurred. You see it's a little uneven. We're going to put it back in the heat anyways, just in case there's any stress. And sometimes I roll the edges on here, on the graphite L marker, and it kind of helps straighten everything out, especially these edges. It helps get them flattened down. And now you see we have this little Maria. Alright? Now I'm going to take it again, and I'm going to go down, and then we're going to clean it off, and we're going to put one of these, one of the flat ends, as far down as we think it should be. You know, the difference between these style of pokers and the bent neck, bent nail style pokers is that if you're doing your bent nail style poker, it won't roll off the table or anything. This might roll. What I'm doing is creating that ball up at the end, and then we use gravity to let it drop a little bit. Bad boy, looks like a sword. Heck yeah. And that's a flat poker. So we have our flat poker and our bent nail poker. What else should we do? Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of these bad boys right here. One that we already have a little flat cap end. And what I'm going to do is show you how we create like a dabber style situation. And for this one, I'm going to create something that's kind of like a Maria, but it's going to look more like a ball. And I'll show you right now. So what I'm going to do is come down as far as I think. So I'm going to do right about there. I'm going to get it hot by rotating it in the heat. And then what I'll do is I'll slowly push together. Now on this one, I'm slowly pushing together because I don't want it to become that whole Maria. I just want it to look kind of like a ball there. Yeah. I'm going to straighten it out with my hands. So you can see that, you know, it's a lot different than the full Maria. It's just like more of a ball there. You know, these are all just different styles of pokers that I offer. On my Etsy, I have this thing where you spend $10 and you can get a random poker. Well, you can always leave comments to the person you're buying the thing from, which is me. And when you leave the comment, or you can message me, you can tell me if you want like a dabber style poker, or if you want like a double-sided poker. You just tell me and I'll look it up. Now what we have here, I'll cut off a piece, and you notice that I didn't pull it like I pulled the last one. That's because we're going to make this one into a dabber. Okay? So what you're going to see is when you put this right here, and then push down on it. And flatten it. See that? See, we didn't push to flatten it, we pushed down to flatten this one. Now I'm going to put it back in the heat, as we always do. And then press it again. Because you want it to be kind of thin, that way when someone puts it in their banger, it can melt down quicker, you know? You don't want this wax to be so hot that it doesn't take the, so thick that it takes a while to get hot. You also don't want it so thin that it will crack. So you have to find this like perfect medium. Like now somebody can use this as a dabber, you know? Just spoon and rubber. Alright. So this first piece we made with the flat end, now we're going to use that what we're going to do is we're going to create a little bit of a curvier style of bent nail. Go around about where my fingers get comfortable. We're going to start similar, but we're going to just keep it at a, more of a straight L, like that. The right angle going on that. Now we're going to take this and get hot right here. And instead of just bending directly, I'm going to kind of like pull it into like a curve. And then I'm going to get hot right after that curve stops. Get it hot. You can see I'm kind of creating a, more of soft edges rather than some of these like right angles. Okay? And then we're going to go tidy with that again. At this point, I'm about to no longer be able to hold it, and I'm just going to have to use gravity on my side. And always remember, we have these glass punchies because, like, you want to be able to take this right here and pull it down, right? Well, you can't because it's so hot. So you can't touch it with your fingers. So you can use like tweezers or the punchies, because remember, punchies are like your little hands, and all these tools are used as your hands. So I'm going to get it hot. Make this hot. Now we're going to pull this one down with a focus. Ooh, I like that one. Yeah. Earlier we attached the glass because we didn't like how pointy it was or if it was uneven, and we pulled it back off. Now you have this little stuff left. What you do is you just leave that to the side, or you dump it in a water bucket, and the water bucket will make it like crack right off that puncher. That one's badass right there. Got a cool little snake situation going on here. Let's create one more. Some of these pokers, they're just, I have this little piece right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a regular one with no Maria, nothing extra. It's just going to be straight to the point. This one's just a straight poker, poke and stir. I'll do a dabber like that too. If you see in the bucket, there's some pieces with the flat ends. That's because I'll go through and I'll just take some of these, take them, and just get them prepped for the next time that I want to do this. Take it. Put it down in here. Put it down, and boom, on to the next. Hot rubber. And boom, on to the next. You see? That's when I'm in like production mode. You gotta get in production mode sometimes. Alright, take the glasses off. I'm gonna switch the camera around here. So what we were able to make today in this 20 minutes I'm not going to touch them with my hand because I don't know how hot they still are. We have the bent nail poker. We have a sword style poker with a Maria. We have just the regular straight poker, you know, straight to the point. And then we have our curvy style poker. It's beautiful. And we also showed that we can pull down a point and get it ready for the next poker. You know, see this one, all we'd have to do is hold it here. Once it cools down, press this end, and then it would be just like this one, a poker. Over here, we also showed that we can create dabbers this way. That's cool there. Flatten the piece out, and here we showed that Marias don't have to be pushed all the way down. They can just be more of like a ball, circle-y thing going on there, rather than, you know, the full-on this. And you can see what I mean. This isn't rolling all over the place. The bent nails aren't rolling. But these bad boys, it's hard to keep them still sometimes. So, we also showed that you don't just have to pull them down like this to start off. You can also start off by just pressing one end and then holding it to create your poker dabber. So I hope this helps you guys learn how to make pokers and dabbers. And if you're not trying to learn how to glass blow, I hope it gave you a better understanding of how we do. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe. It's going to help out with this algorithm. Thank you guys very much for watching this far. Stay safe. Have a great day.